everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Hermione and you are watching video number 3 of the 12 DIYs of Christmas. In this series I've been showing you guys how to get crafty, make some decorations, and today's video is going to be all about gifts. I want to show you how to make some very simple and easy gifts for friends, family and loved ones. Really hope you guys enjoy this video and I hope you're enjoying the series and it's inspiring you to get crafty this Christmas. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump into these DIY gifts. First things first, I've got 2 gift ideas for people who absolutely love baking, and this is what they come together to look like. So the first thing I want to show you is this tassel tea towel, and this is kind of anthropology inspired and I love the colours on this. For this you will need a kitchen towel and some embroidery thread. I could not find a kitchen towel anywhere that was plain, so I'm using a hand towel, so ignore that. So to make the tassels, wrap the embroidery thread around 2 of your fingers about 50 to 60 times. Once it's thick enough, cut the end off and then cut a couple of extra pieces, you'll need those later. Gently pull the loops off of your fingers, and then once you've got that off, take one of the extra pieces of thread, pull it through the loops and tie it in a tight knot. Then take the other piece of thread and tie it about 1/3 of the way from the top. Once that's done, cut through the loops and give it a bit of a trim and you should have a tiny tassel like this. Make as many as you want in different colours. I made, I think, about 7 of these. I think an odd number is better than an even number. And then once you've done that, go ahead and sew them with a needle and thread in a matching colour to the towel onto the towel, and that should keep them in place. So that's the first gift as part of this set. The second one is these cute painted wooden spoons. They're so simple to make and they look really cute with the towel in a gift box. So these are the spoons. They're from Poundland. For a set of 2 they were only £1. Just mask off the top section of the spoons and make sure they're equal on both sides, and then just go ahead and paint them any kind of fun colour that you'd like. You can match them to the tea towel if you decide to make both. I'm using a blue and a purple here. Leave them to dry until they're fully dry and then you can just take the tape off and you should have a nice clean line. And this is what they look like paired together with some other inexpensive gifts for a gift box. If you want to make one, you could pair it with a mixing bowl, mine was from Poundland, some cookie cutters, cake mix, chocolate chips, or even some printed recipe cards with your favourite recipes on. A few of these pieces together would make a really inexpensive yet meaningful gift for someone who loves to bake. Next up, I have gifts for people who love coffee. We all have one of those friends in our lives. I'm probably the friend. I'm drinking a coffee right now. So this is a little gift box that I put together with 2 DIYs in it. So the first DIY is going to be this painted mug. It's really easy to make, so let's jump into it. So you're going to want to take a plain white mug, and you can create any kind of design that you want, but this is just the one I went with. And to make your design last, you'll need porcelain paint. I'm mixing mine in the lid of a water bottle because I didn't have anything else. So I'm mixing in some thinner and I'm also mixing the colour. You can use this straight out of the bottle, but I wanted kind of like a thinner, less opaque look. So I'm just mixing those 2 together and painting it on my mug using a thick brush. I wanted it to be kind of abstract, so I'm just doing loads of thick paint strokes and kind of dry brushing the edges towards the top. Once I put this coat on, I actually went on and tried to ombre it a little bit more and added a bit more of the darker colour to the bottom, so it kind of had a few more tones. To finish up, I used a paintbrush and splattered some gold porcelain paint onto the mug as well, just to give the design a little extra something. And then once that was finished, I went ahead and baked the mug as per the instructions on the paint to really set the design in place so that it wouldn't go anywhere. So that's the finished mug, but what is a mug without coasters? I decided to make some coasters for this gift set. They're so easy, and all I did was wrap a piece of rope around itself, gluing it as I went. Really simple way to make coasters. Make sure you don't burn yourself, of course, because I kind of burned my thumbs on this a good few times, and you could leave it like that for someone who doesn't like super girly things, but of course I just had to go and add some pom-poms to this because I don't think I've made a video without pom-poms in it, ever. So I just added pom-pom trim around the edge. I doubled it up to make sure there were loads of poms, and this is how they turned out. Very simple and only took about 5 minutes to make 2. To make a gift box with these pieces, you could always put in some coffee, some syrup flavouring from Starbucks or anywhere else, a cute milk jug, some candy canes, some cookies, anything that goes really well with coffee. So this is the final result. To wrap it all up nicely, I put it in a box with some tissue paper and candy canes, and I thought it looked really cute all together. Okay, so next is a set of gifts for people who absolutely love to sleep, and I actually wrapped this up in a blanket because I thought what would be more appropriate, but I'll show you that in a minute because first up is the DIY, which is this cute little eye mask. You'll need to cut an eye mask shape out of felt. You can use a stencil from online, draw it out, or use one you might already have lying around like I did. So once you've done that, you can go ahead and embellish it however you'd like. I'm doing an eyelash design and I'm using these sequins that are already in a string and just gluing those on with a hot glue gun. You can really go crazy with this. You can use really pretty fabric, or you can write out a quote. You can use fabric pens, really whatever you'd like. If you want to make this design, it's very simple. All you have to do is make 2 semicircles for the eyes and then add the lashes on. For the lashes, I used sets of 4 sequins long. If you're doing this with rope or some kind of other trim, I guess you would just measure them out to be the same length, but that way I just made sure that all of the sequins were the same length for each of the eyelashes so that they weren't too wonky. Then you want a way to actually attach the lace onto the back. So I'm using this slightly elastic lace. If you're going to use elastic, just make sure that it's a nice soft elastic so it's not going to cut into somebody's head and be really uncomfortable. Or you could just use 2 pieces of ribbon and tie them in the back. So what I did here was I just used a little bit of hot glue to put the elastic in place at the beginning, but then I went through with a needle and thread and just really secured it to make sure that it wasn't going to go anywhere. So this is what it looks like finished, and you can really personalize this for whoever you're giving it to. And here are a few gift box ideas to add it to. Maybe you can add a blanket, some cozy socks, a candle. You could also add some lavender essential oil to help sleep, and even some slippers. So this is how I put my box together. I put in some cozy knee-high socks, a candle, and also the DIY sleep mask. I put them into a really super cozy blanket from IKEA, and then I wrapped it up roughly kind of like a present. To hold it together, I used this fabric ribbon and tied it as you would tie a normal gift, and just put a big bow on top to keep all of the things in place. And this is how it turned out. It's just a different way to wrap a set of gifts, and I don't know, I thought it was cute and kind of cozy. And lastly, here is a gift for someone who really loves plants, specifically cactus plants. So this is a cute little mini terrarium kind of gift, and it's super budget friendly. You won't have to spend much on this. I'm using an old coffee jar, so remove the label, wash out the coffee, and you should have something that looks a little bit like this. The reason I'm using a glass jar is so that we can create layers of rocks and soil. You can use any kind of jar you might have lying around, to be honest, like a jam jar or something. So what I'm doing is adding a layer of aquarium rocks, or you can use plant rocks, whatever you can find, and then adding a layer of cactus soil on top of it and pressing that down with a spoon. And then going in and adding another layer of rocks and then another layer of soil. The one thing I think I would have done differently if I could do this again is that my layers were not thick enough, especially of the rocks. They kind of merged together, as you can see here, but you get the picture. You'll probably do a better job of this than me. I'm not great at planting things. Anyway, once you've got your top layer of soil, you can pop your cactus plants in and then push them down gently, and then add a last layer of rocks. The rocks at the bottom will help stop the cactus from getting root rot. And I think the cactus soil is pretty important. Ever since I started planting my cactuses and succulents in this, they haven't been dying, so that's a great thing. Anyway, I wrapped this up using another fabric bow and a gift tag. And just for fun, on the back of the gift tag, you can also attach a couple of plasters, because if you're giving this to a friend, they might need it if they're going to touch the cactus. So just prepare them and be a good friend. So that is everything for this video. I really hope you liked it. Do let me know in the comments down below what you're going to be buying or making this Christmas season for your friends, family, and loved ones. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great day. Don't forget to like this video if you do, and I'll see you next time. Bye!